But because we want to understand it and we ultimately, our flesh wants to lead, we want it the way we want it. So I say all that to say, trust the things that you hear, even if they don't make sense. And the more you do that, the more you will grow in recognizing his, his voice. So, and you know what, honestly, um, this thing of fear, at the end of the day, you can't pray fear away. You're not going to pray fear out of yourself. I said this in my book. So fear is conquered by every yes you say and you do in the middle of a storm. When fear is conquered. This is the Song of Solomon. For those of you doing the Song of Solomon journey, fear is something that is conquered and overcome through a process, more and more and more. We gain ground in overcoming fear, because how is fear driven out? Fear is driven out by one thing, and that's perfect love, who is a man. Okay. And so as we grow in his perfect love, fear is driven out. Fear is driven out. Well, usually growing in the revelation of his love is where we step out into areas of faith and we discover who he is. Okay. So it's not just sitting under the apple tree. I love you. You love me. Oh, fear is being driven out. Fear is being, no. It starts that way. But on the journey, it's about stepping out and you encountering his love. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're the deliverer. Look at Israel. Israel came out, was led out, and they came to a sea in front of them and enemies behind them. God led them there. And then he parts the sea and they go, oh my gosh, you're the deliverer. And they're singing their songs, God has rescued us. Well, they had to come up to the sea in front of them and the enemies behind them in order to see who God is, and so it's the same thing for us. And he does that. And so if you're looking to not come into any storms or come up against any giants because you want to be safe or, whatever, you're not going to grow. You're not going to advance, and you're not going to grow in hearing his voice. So remember, fear is conquered. You advance by every yes. Every yes you agree with, every yes you say by your actions and by going forward, you are conquering it. You conquer it time and time and time again. It's a process, and you grow stronger and you grow more and more into who you are as you say yes in the face of fear.